Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Last time na-discuss natin ang all about sa methods of the variability or identifying or methods of identifying of the variability. The methods and the tools na ginagamit kung paano basahin or something i-determine if there is a detections or there is a variant of a virus. So ngayon, pupunta naman tayo sa disease cycle. So disease cycle, if we define disease cycle, paano ba yung mismong pag-colonize ng plants doon sa ating or paano yung pag-colonize ng isang diseases or ng isang pathogen doon sa plants natin. Okay? So if we define disease cycle, it is a sequence of a sequential event that occur when a pathogen infect a plants. So kapag sinabi nating sequence, it means this is the step by step or a framework on how that diseases or pathogen or on how that pathogen develop a diseases. So, it is a sequential or step by step. Kaya, in the disease cycle, pag-aaralan natin kung ano yung mga iba't ibang step. So, number one step is what we call on the inoculations or dissemination of the pathogen or secondary inoculum. So, after the symptoms development or after doon sa infected plant, paglilipat yan wherein magkakaroon ng tinatawag na inoculation or introduction to the healthy plants. So, i-assume na lang natin na ang ating ipaprocess ngayon for sequential is the virus. Wherein, ang pinakauso ngayon is yung rice tungro virus na ang nagdadala ng rice tungro virus ay ang green leaf hopper. At paano ngayon maglalanding or magiging successful yung development ng sakit through inoculum. So, so kapag sinabi nating inoculations, this is the introduction of the pathogen to the host. So ngayon, once na si insect ay infected ng pathogen or something naka-establish yung mismong virus doon sa insect na yon at lilipat siya doon sa healthy plants kasi pinag-uusapan natin paano na-i-infect ng vector yung mismong healthy plants. So through this vector, idadala niya yung sakit doon sa mismong main plants. At doon sa healthy plants na yon, once na inaccept ni healthy plants ang pag-absorb ni insect and ni pathogen at successfully yung landing niya doon sa mismong cell, ang tawag doon introduction or inoculations. Okay? So that is so-called introduction or inoculations. After ng introduction or inoculation, once na nakapasok na mismo si virus or yung mismong capsid ni virus sa loob ng plants, sa cell ng ating plants, that's the time na mag-a-adjust na mismo si pathogen. So in attachment, it requires specific interaction between the components of the pathogen, particle, and components of the host cells. So kapag sinabi nating attachment, mag-a-adjust muna sa environment niya doon sa loob ng plants before siya mag-move. Kasi ang ginagawa niya, kasi ang ating virus, meron siyang tinatawag na capsid or capsule-like structure na kung saan nandoon sa loob mismo yung ating virus. Kasi ang virus natin contains the DNA and RNA. Tandaan natin, virus is not a cell, but they contains a nucleic acid or a capsid na nagpo-protect sa kanya to regulate yung temperature at para hindi siya ma-stress or mawala. Okay? So yung capsule-like or kaya yung capsid ang nagpo-protect sa kanya na para siyang capsule ng gamot na kung saan nandoon sa loob yung parang DNA and RNA. At ang tutulong sa kanya or ang pinaka-helper niya para masira yung cell is the virusoid. Okay, the virusoid. Next, after that, after ng interaction or once na naka-adapt na siya doon sa environment at na-observe niya na pwedeng-pwede siyang lumakad or mag-move para mapuntahan niya si cell at ng DNA, that's the time na magkakaroon na ng tinatawag na penetration. Kapag sinabi nating penetration, siya mismo yung magbe-breach doon sa barriers. Si virusoid ang magbe-breach sa cell. Kapag sinabi nating breach, it means sisira. So this is stage where the pathogen breaches the host physical barriers, such as yung kanyang cuticle, yung kanyang cell wall, or to enter the host tissues. So this can occur where yung ating pathogen ay nakapag-adapt na. So once na nakapag-adapt na siya at sinira niya, nagkaroon na ng destroying of the cell wall, nagkaroon na ng destroying of the cell, that is so-called penetrations. Okay? So sino ang pwedeng sumira? The virusoid. Okay? The virusoid is the helper of the virus. Okay? Next, after siyang magkaroon ng penetrations, eto yung penetrations, pupunta na siya sa tinatawag na host recognitions. Kapag sinabi nating host recognition, that's the time na kapag si plants, inaalaw niya na si virus na mag-bind doon sa DNA and RNA. Kasi ang ating virus is contains DNA and RNA. So once na inaalaw niya na yung sarili or inaalaw ni plants na i-bind ni mismong virus yung kanyang chromosomes or kaya yung DNA and RNA niya, ang tawag na doon is host recognition. Ina-accept. Once na ina-accept niya, the process by which the pathogen identifies and binds to specific molecules or receptors on the host plants, the host recognitions ensures that the pathogen can interact with the exploit of the host cellular machinery for the successful interactions. Okay? So once na binind niya na, that is so-called host recognitions. Nire-recognize ni plants. Host meaning plants. Nire-recognize niya. Okay? After that, magkakaroon na ng tinatawag na infection. Kapag sinabi natin infection, ipagpalagay na lang natin na isang plants pa lang yung pinupuntahan nung mismong pathogen. Isang isang part pa isang part lang ng plants. Okay? So in the infection, there is so-called establishment and multiplication of the pathogen in the host. Magmumultiply na siya. Okay? So, paano siya magmumultiply? In the DNA and RNA ng plants doon sa isang cell, magmumultiply na mismo yung bindings na dapat siya na mismo yung mag-colonize sa buong cells. Okay? This phase, during which the pathogen establishes itself within the host tissues and it begins to reproduce. Yung na-bind niya na DNA and RNA, magmumultiply yon. Magkakaroon ng tinatawag na mutations. Okay? This stage leads to the development of the symptoms as the pathogen grows and disrupts the normal plant functions. Okay? So it means magde-develop na siya ng symptoms. Pero hindi mo makikita pa in outer part. Ano? Hindi mo makikita yung expression niya, yung symptoms niya sa labas. But rather, magde-develop muna siya or mag establish muna siya doon sa mismong loob for the development ng symptoms. Okay? So it means, magpaparami muna siya doon sa cell. Okay? Actually, yung isang plant or isang leaves, million of cell yung nandoon. Kung isang cells pa lang, it means once na isa lang yung na-damage, infection na ang tawag doon. Pero hindi mo pa makikita yung outcome. Okay? Next is invasion. So the invasion is the process where the pathogen is spread from the initial site. Okay? Mag-i-spread na siya. So it means sa isang cell, lilipat siya sa kabilang cells from the initial site of infection to the other parts of the host plant. So this involved the pathogen moving through the host tissues that often facilitated by the enzymatic breakdown of cell walls and other structural barriers. So that is invasion. So it means spread from the initial site. Nandun pa lang sa isang leaves,
So isang leaves pa lang ang tawag na doon, paglilipat na siya sa isang cell, from other cell, sa buong part ng mismong isang leaves, ang tawag na doon is invasion. Okay? Invasion. Spread from the initial site. And then, after ng invasion, there is so-called colonizations. Kapag sinabi natin colonization, this stage where the pathogen extensively establishes itself throughout the host plant. And during colonization, the pathogen continues to grow and reproduce, that leading to widespread the disease symptoms and often significant damage to the plant. So kapag sinabi natin colonizations is from the parts of the leaves to the other parts ng plants natin. Kung in-infect niya na yung leaves, i-infect niya na din yung stem. Kung in-infect niya na yung stem, isusunod niya na yung fruits, yung flower, and other parts ng mismong plants. Kaya napapansin natin, yung rice natin, bakit kaya lahat na naman na yung parte ng ating plants ay nag-yellowing? It is because that is so-called colonizations. Ang colonizations, hindi lang isang parte, kundi lahat ng part ng plants natin. That is so-called colonization. One of the best example is the virus. Next one, once na yung ating plants ay na-colonize na at naka-establish na si virus, that's the time na magpapakita na yung tinatawag na symptoms expression. Mag-change na yung kanyang itsura. So, mag-change na yung kanyang itsura. So, paano siya mag-change? Nagkakaroon ng yellowing or nagkakaroon na ng tinatawag na visible or detectable effect of the pathogen on the hosts. Okay, so that is a visible. Actually, naniniwala ako sa kasabihan ng sabi doon, everything is connected to everything else. Wherein, merong interaction na hindi natin nakikita si virus at si insect. Tanungin ko sa inyo, ano ang pinaka-attractive na kulay ng mga insect? During at day, pinaka-attractive sila sa kulay na yellow. During at night, very attractive sila sa light. Okay? So yung mga insect natin, they are poor in vision. Hindi sila nakakakita. But they are attractive in a yellow color. Kaya nga, si virus, kaya ang nagke-create ng yellowing doon sa ating plants is not the plants itself, but the virus. Bakit? Yun yung kanilang mechanism para lapitan sila ng insekto. Nagye-yellowing. At once na nagye-yellowing, that's the time na maa-attract si insect na mag-sap doon. At kapag nakapag-sap na sila doon, that's the time na yung infected ay, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na ng dissemination again. So it means from one plant to the other plant, wherein ay magkakaroon ng tinatawag na spread outside. Sino ang mag-i-spread? Si vector. Okay? Dissemination or the spread of the pathogen to a new host. So, as you can see, the growth and or reproduction of the pathogen, and then, that's the time na kapag nakapag-spread sila, mauulit lang yung tinatawag nating disease cycle. And the last is the survival or the persistence. So there is a persistence of the pathogen in the absence of susceptible host. Kapag sinabi nating persistent, kailangan nilang mag-survive yung mga pathogen natin pag wala na yung mismong host. Kasi ang ating mga virus, ang ini-infect lang nila is yung mga living organisms. Okay? Ang ini-infect lang nila is the living organisms. Hindi nila kayang i-infect ang mga dead organic matter or yung mga saprophytic or saprophyte. Okay? And then meron tayong mga types of disease cycle. Number one is the monocyclic. So, monocyclic is a disease or a monocyclic disease is the fungus produces spore at the end of the season. that serve as a primary and only inoculum for following year. So it means as you can see, ang monocyclic is the yellow, wherein nagkakaroon lang ng cycle. Minsan lang yung cycle na nila, and then mamamatay na sila. Over the years lang yon. Okay? Example sana yung mga rust and smut. Okay? And then we have also the polycyclic. So kapag sinabi nating polycyclic, it involves multiple cycle of infection within a single growing seasons. So with the pathogen undergoing several generations. So example sana yung mga powdery mildew, late blight, yan yung mga polycyclic. Wherein magkakaroon ng multiple cycle or something na meron silang mga secondary to tertiary cycles. Na kahit wala yung plants or meron yung plants, kayang-kaya lang mag-reproduce, especially yung mga fungi. Okay? So meron din tayong types ng movement ng mga pathogen. Number one is active movement. Kapag sinabi nating active movement, ito yung kahit walang insect or vector, kaya nilang mag-thrive. They are active. Example sana yung mga fungal pathogen that very actively grows and spread through the host tissues. So the fungal pathogen can move from cell to cell by growing through the host structure. And then kapag sinabi naman nating passive, it means kinikerry sila ng mga host systems. Okay? Without any active effort. So nagkikerry lang sila through their DNA para malipat siya sa ibang mga cells such as viruses that are transported via plants transportational streams. Okay? And then, meron din tayong mga entry, replication, and movement ng mga pathogen natin. Wherein ang entry ng mga virus and viroid, the same. Wherein doon sa wound, natural openings, and sa vectors. While yung bacteria natin, they enter through phloem tissues. Yung mga vascular like the phloem and the xylem parts ng plants natin. And also through vectors. And then yung mga fungi natin, it penetrates the plants outer barrier such as the cuticle. Kasi nga ang mga fungi natin is intact host surface. Outer part lang ng plants yung kanyang infections. Okay? Wherein, mapapansin natin na ang outcome ng fungi ay rough. Nakapagparamdaman mo na ganyan is very rough. And then nematodes, plant tissues. So paano sila mag-replicates? Ang mga virus natin through hijack cells or nucleus or cytoplasm, while yung mga viroid natin is through the RNA base rolling circle mechanisms. While yung mga bacteria natin is asexually by fissions or binary fissions, while yung fungi natin is through the breakdown of the cell wall and it replicate epithermal parts. While sa nematodes, insert the stylet and they hatch eggs, yung mga nematodes natin. Through movement naman, nagmo-move ang mga virus natin cell to cell via plasmodesmata. Ganon din ang viroid. And then, yung ating bacteria, they multiplied in the phloem, while yung fungi natin feed on dead tissues and secrete toxin and enzymes. While yung mga nematodes natin target the root system and migrate from the soil. Ito ang mga dapat nating tandaan na keywords regarding sa fungi, bacteria, virus, and nematodes and viroid. So kapag fungi, they are intact host surface. Spores sila, nagpaproduce sila ng spores. Wherein yung spores na yon is a seed-like structure na magde-develop siya ng mycelium or kaya ng mga vegetative part. Kasi ang ating spore is a propagative part ng fungi para makapagpadami sila. Okay? Mycelium, fruiting bodies, spot. Yan, ito yung mga terms na dapat nating tandaan. And then, anthracnose. And then, kapag merong mga last letter na may kota, zoa, iota, fora, mycetes, and rheum na mga family names ng mga fungi, it means they are part of the fungi. And then, they produce galls, scab, rust, mildew, smut, and canker. And they mostly are hyperplastic. While the bacteria, they are unicellular, binary fissions, and mostly they are watery soak, and it produces the ooze. And ang kanilang shape is a rod shape or rounded. And it produces a flagella. If we say flagella, this is the whip-like structure of the bacteria. Wherein, meron tayong mga different bacterial types. We have the Atricus, Monotricus, Lopotricus, Ampilopotricus, Ampitricus. Okay, na-discuss natin yan last time. And then, we have also the last letters of the bacterias, especially sa kanyang mga genera or genus. We have the Xanthomonas or the Monas, Nia, Rheum, Tonya, and Plasma. And then, they produces a mycoplasma. Ganun din ang mga virus natin, dwarfing, stunted, wherein bunchy top, curling, and mosaic yung kanyang outcome. Bonsai type, and the ring spot. So they are made of nucleic acid, the DNA and RNA or a cellular, and it needs a vector. Example sana, yung brown plant hopper, aphids, a green leaf hopper. Okay? And then we have also the nematodes. They are multicellular, hyperplastic, cuticle, animals, yung mga nematodes natin. So it means ang nematodes is the only belong or this is the only pathogen that belong in animal kingdom because para siyang eel or earthworm. And they are preferred yung mga aerated or mga porous na soil like yung mga sands, yung silt, and ang mga last letters ng mga nematodes natin ay yung mga day, chida, china, chus, lus, mus, and ito ay nakikita lang through Berman funnel, nasisegregate siya or something na-eliminate siya, nakakat siya through sieving method, and also they are found or they are soil-borne diseases found in the soil, especially yung Meloidogen or root knot nematode or the Heterodera or cyst nematode. And then, meron tayong mga example ng mga nematodes natin, the Belonolimus or sting nematodes, Paratylencus or the pin, Siphinema or dagger, and then the Longidorus or the needle nematodes. While in the viroid, they are smallest among all the nematodes. The spindle tuber, kadang-kadang, and we all know viroid, they are only infect plants and they are acellular. Okay? Next, our last topic is all about the latent infection. Kapag sinabi nating latent infection, this refers to the state where a pathogen remains present within the host without causing visible symptoms or diseases. So kapag sinabi nating latent infection, tsaka mo lang makikita yung mismong sakit ng plants na yon once na na-dissect. Latent infection yon. Okay? Latent infection. So, gaya ng mga puno, masigla yung mga puno, malalaki yung mga puno, or something, healthy naman yung puno, pero bakit kaya kapag pinutol mo, merong infections doon sa loob? Ang tawag doon is latent infection. Upon dissection, nakikita mo yung kanyang infections. They are the same in the histological symptoms. 'Di ba? Kapag sinabi nating histological symptoms, pagbabalikan natin yung topic, they are uh, they found that they are infected or they found that they are asymptomatic on that particular disease once or upon dissections. Okay? So that is the last topic na i-discuss natin or yan na yung last na topic natin wherein for the preparations sa exam natin. So thank you so much and God bless.